And this is the second time that that a shell has been landed on one of the provincial towns in southeastern Turkey and neighboring the Syrian border. And it can be accidental, it can be a provocation, or it can be the Syrian authorities trying their chances with respect to Turkey, because they shut down a Turkish plane a couple of months ago, and there was no really immediate response towards that, because Turkey didn't want to go to war with Syria. And this time it was different, because the climate was different and the circumstances was totally different, and Turkey responded with heavy shelling of the Syrian positions, but it was rather proportional, and they resort not only to military means, but at the same time diplomatic means too. And they went to UN Security Council, they informed Brahimi, and they informed the Secretary General of the United Nations, and also they convened a NATO meeting on Article 4, and which also demonstrated that they are not willing to intervene, because otherwise they were going to ask for Article 5 type of meeting from NATO. And so it seems that the problem is more or less settled, but obviously after the American elections in a couple of weeks after the American elections, presidential elections particularly, this can be utilized, this sort of quote-unquote opportunities can be utilized by the allied powers, including Turkey, Americans, Italians, Spanish, in order to intervene, in order to break the deadlock at the UN Security Council on the basis of Article 51 of the UN Charter, that's to say self-defense clause, and pretending that there is a attack on Turkish territory, then NATO can intervene. And this eventuality has obviously been detected by the Syrian authorities, and the Syrian minister was just trying to calm down. Minister of Information was trying to calm down and extending apologies to the families of the victims. So the good news is that we are not going to have any war soon, but bad news is that we are going to have an intervention after the elections in the US, which will be a multilateral one. First of all, we should emphasize the fact that this is beneficial for both Europe and EU, member countries, and EU by itself, and also Turkey. I mean, this transition taking place in the region. Also, there are some skepticism because of the rise of Muslims, let's just say Muslim Brotherhood in many countries. Particularly, concerns are particularly rising from the Israeli side, and there are concerns in several other countries, including US and also many countries of the European Union. And if we can all stand on the right side of history, I think we are all to gain from the changes taking place. And one should not forget that this is a democratic change, a more or less democratic change, and we can contribute to the democratization of this region. But this democratization will not come through at one revolution. And you can topple the anti-democratic regimes of the region, but at the same time you have to assist them in democratizing themselves, and this assistance can so far been done through assisting the democrats of the region. But we also try to establish new regimes, new institutions, new international organizations in the region. And when I look at my own example, that's to say the example of Turkey's democratization, EU membership prospects have played enormous role. And at the same time, if we hadn't had the benchmarks provided by the Council of Europe and that's to say 1950 Convention, So, we wouldn't be able to democratize ourselves as it was, in 10 years ago or even now. So we have to have these organization structures in the region. There is nothing like Council of Europe, nothing like OSCE, nothing like NATO. So all these, international institutions need to be established in the region. But there's no movement towards that direction, and they are all relying on the indigenous forces in the countries in question, but doing nothing, as a matter of fact, to establish such organization structures in the region.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.